Says it's starting event. Hello, everyone. Boy, oh boy. It has been a wild ride this morning getting here, but welcome to the Fall Equinox, September 22nd, 2020. And we're in for a wonderful experience today. I just want to handle a lot of things that have been happening. Yeah, it's not working, Laura. I'm getting another email. We're having some problems with our email server, and just so everyone knows who is actually on here right now, we're actually going to change the entire system. We've just had so many problems with MailChimp and in part with Webinar Jam, so we're going to change the whole system again. Let me just send this to you, Laura. Laura is so wonderful. She is navigating a ton of things with me in the middle of the night for her in Bali. And I think she's had no sleep. So thank you, Laura. But I'm going to send this to you because I don't know why. I don't know why she's not getting it. I think I sent 2 emails to 2 different emails boxes, Laura.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry. What's interesting is I have noticed that a number of my systems are trying to merge together, and I'm not able to get this working right. Even emails are just going to the wrong places for people that have not only been on the calls before for a long time, but even my emails to Laura have been going to different accounts. So there's just some really weird stuff going on, and I have some real tech and office cleanup to do here to make my systems run better. But thank you, all of you who are here and who are waiting. I'm so grateful. We are going to have a wonderful experience today. And I will need to get us grounded and move into this space in all the ways. Sorry. It says that the webinar has ended for this one woman, Laura, so I'm going to send this to you again. It's insane that this is all happening. And there she's just sent this. There's a number of people, not Roseanne, that was the wrong name, by the way. Anyway, I really apologize for all of you who are here. Hopefully, and I'm not sure if you are getting these. I guess I should ask you that, Laura. Are you getting these directly to the Eternal Light inbox so that I know you're seeing them and I can begin?
Yes, I'm seeing everything. I'm sorry, I'm actually a little bit sick, so my voice is a little funny. I'm not sure why they're getting, the webinar has ended. I'm sending them the exact same link that all the people who are already on the call are getting. So it's a little glitchy, but I will keep working with it. Okay.
Maybe individually send everybody who's on the list a resend. I don't know. That's my best thought. Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry to hear that you're sick. We'll send you lots of love and prayers as we're doing this, as you will be receiving too. So thank you for being on here so much. Couldn't do it without you. So hello, everyone who is here. I'm going to go to the chat. Okay, there's Leanne. Hi, Leanne. Glad you're here. Hi, Leslie. So glad you're here. Hi, Patty. Yeah, thank you all for letting us know that you're here. We have a smaller group, which is wonderful because I really believe that the group of people who come together are specifically linked wherever you are on the planet. And I know a lot of you, actually in our group, there's I think 11 to 15 of us specifically today. And I didn't do a huge promotion of this. I really feel that there are certain people that need to link up. And so I really feel and truly have seen over all the years that I've been doing this, that the right people end up coming either online in person or sign up and do get the email replay. But not, it's not for me, I really need to acknowledge that this for me is really not about like making money. This is really truly about the activation of the codes and the light frequency that individuals around the world are needing to plug into. So hi, Roseanne and Patricia, thanks for acknowledging that you're here. I really appreciate that. So there are a number of people who I do know won't be able to be online live today and who will be listening to the replay. So for those of you who are listening to the replay, thank you. I love you. I'm grateful you're here too. So given all of our issues getting started, I'm literally, this is like you coming over and sitting with me in my house, in my space. We're in my office, and it's not really an office, it's my wonderful space, right? But I do work in it in a lot of ways and created it really special. I have an altar over there. I have lots of specialnesses in my room and space here. Hi, Abby, so glad you're here. Thank you for being here and letting us know. So we are going to do lots of great things, but I was feeling, because things were wonky, I got up early enough to get everything ready and handled, and then just all this issues with the tech and emails and not being able to get on, and all the things were starting to happen. So I'm going to want to be just like I'm here with you in my house, in my room, in our sacred space and container. Literally, this is not a show. This is an activation. This is a connection. This is me being with you, holding a clear, open channel for the receptivity to happen and be in this moment. I really, really, really want to light a little sage and Palo Santo. So will you just sit with me? Now, here's what I want to say as we're getting ourselves really, truly present and set up for our experience. We're going to do a number of things together. We are going to do some breath work. We're going to do prayer, mantra, meditation. We are going to have some receiving and some activating with ourselves. So even though you're in your own space, I really do want you to set your space in a way that feels, even if it's not like you can spend a half an hour, which right now we don't want you to, but even if you spend 2 minutes while I'm getting the sage and I'm doing the lighting here, that you do whatever you need to do. So do like, get yourself some water, go to the restroom right now if you need to. Bring any crystals or any notebook that you want to, if you want to take notes. I don't always recommend that, but if you really are one of those people who loves to, there's a lot of you, feel free to. Bring in crystals, just, light some incense, light some sage, do what you need to do right now. We're going to take 1 minute and really set intentionally, as then I come back in and we will activate the intention. So right now you're just holding and opening and connecting to this unity right here that we're experiencing. So I'm going to grab the sage and I'm going to do that, and you do what you need to do, and we'll be back in literally 1 minute. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm back in my room here, and for those of you who would like to listen, who are listening, I have my sage bundle here, and I'm going to walk around the space just for a quick circle. I'm going to open my back door and let everything out that was destabilizing this morning and clear and ground into this moment with you all. And I'm going to let you hear my prayers out loud, okay? I cleanse and clear this space. I hold open the light and love doorway. Anything and everything that is not of the highest light must leave now in the name of Jesus the Christ, Mother Mary, of the highest order of the Archangel Michael and all of the realms of the good and the holy. I light and clear this space, cleansing anything and all things that are not of the order of the highest light, intention, and love intention. I clear my body, mind, heart, and soul, opening up and clearing absolutely to the anchoring of love, light, and the highest transmissions. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Okay, my beautiful friends. So, thank you. All right. So this is the real. This is how it goes sometimes, right? All right. So, I know that there's a number of you who've said hello, and there's also a number of you who haven't. And for those of you who haven't said hi, I say hello. So we are going to start with a few things. Let me get myself centered. There was just so much going on. Okay. Okay, my friends. I'm going to also now clear the space with the crystal singing bowl. Breathe deeply, relax your body and your mind and your heart. Center into this moment with all of us. That feels so good. Okay. So we're going to begin with an intentional space setting with my declaration here. It's sort of a prayer and declaration. We're all going to be centering in this. So at this moment, so happy you're all here. It makes my heart sing. As many of you will remember on the email and the invite to be here today, there was prayers and declarations, and I'm going to read them out loud, okay? Prayers and declarations for our human spiritual evolution, especially now for the last months of the year, for the embodiment of living consciously, committed to love and how to proliferate that love onto the planet, for choosing the highest choice points individually and collectively, and to activate that in your life. So in a very certain and real way, that is our intention for right now, as these prayers and declarations that we hold. So coming into the envisioning stage of what we're doing here together, having the crystal bowl, having the sage and the prayer space lit as I did, and you getting to hear and be with me in that process. We now come wherever you are in your sacred space, come to the center of your body. Come into the center of this moment in connection with just listening to and hearing my voice. It's not always so much about seeing me, although that's helpful. But when you feel to close your eyes and really get centered inside of yourself and feel the fullness of what we're about to go through and transition each segment into, bring yourself back. You have the authority. You are your own sovereign being. You know what you need. And so bring yourself into the column of light that you are, holding this space, and we're going to open it together visually. So I'd like for you to kind of envision And I close my eyes to feel you, to sense you, to connect to you. Right now, there is currently 9 of us on the call. So that means the other ones of us are still, who are signed up for this, who are going to be receiving this, who are not actively able to be on this live call, are still connected right now. They actually are, because anyone who makes a commitment to come into this field is connected. So I want us to envision 15 lights, okay? And let's hold in to the place where you can envision in your mind's eye a circle of light. And that circle of light is actually 15 lights, but they link up together. So it's a circle. And it's like one light radiates out and the other lights next to it are radiating out. And so you're all connected. So that's what's happening in the field, in the quantum field, in all of the ways that we are psychically, emotionally, spiritually, spirit, body connected, heart and soul connected, these vibrational frequencies that we're aligning with. So we're going to align with each other in a prayerful intent. And I'm going to open that up. I could feel so much coming forward. Excuse me. When I start to yawn, there's just so many beings that are starting to, be interested and in support. There's so much love and protection, guidance, and that is all we accept and allow. So in this moment, I'm holding this space with each and every one of you. And we are, I hear an echo somewhere. Maybe that could be Laura, but I'm not sure. So we're going into this space where we're connecting and holding and envisioning a circle of light that we are, wherever we are on the globe, on this planet, at this time, touching in. So I want you to envision your own central column as being like a really beautiful tube of light, golden light, white light. And the eternalness of your being is there. That is your consciousness, and it is your soul essence. And we are committed in this moment as we open this circle of light and in this devotional way. We are committed to the devotion of a higher frequency of love and light and unity on this planet. At the recognizing of the energies of the fall equinox right now, we are very clear that we are standing for and in the balance on this planet, the balance that we have been needing within ourselves and within the world experience. We are now aligning and balancing ourselves, our consciousness, and our intention. And as we balance, we are in clear recognizing that we are choosing a higher light, a higher consciousness, a higher love embodiment. Visualize and imagine your greatest beingness, your greatest self, one that releases and relinquishes petty and small human stuff and opens to the high and the holy light, and letting that just be where you sit in these few hours of time that we're spending together today, that you are just receiving and downloading this transmission of a higher light consciousness. We all have our stuff, and yet we're really doing great works at this time to clear, to release, to purify. I claim that for and with each and every one of you now. I claim that for myself, that in this way I am unified with those hearts and minds and souls who are of that same caliber of light consciousness, who are reaching for a wider, specific, higher consciousness of love, evolving through and as us. And that every action and reaction that we take on this planet at this time holds that frequency, holds that light, and holds that next level of a higher order that then ignites on this planet more and more and more and more people and consciousness and beingnesses on this planet, because we are. So in this moment, we are in this beautiful circle of light, connected in all time, all space, at a higher vibrational frequency. And we together are making a declaration and a decree to embody this higher light, this higher way of living inside of ourselves. And that this download in all of its forms, even through laughter and tears, silence and breath, receiving and giving, in this way, we are activating it at a new level on this planet. It is our declaration. And if you agree with this, and if you align with this, and if in this moment, all of us in this sacred circle of light are in agreement, 3 yeses connect. So we begin. Yes. 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 And so it is. So here we are. So that felt really wonderful. I hope that feels really good to you. I'm going to read a few things to get us into this agreement. I wish my camera felt more like you were able to see me. Okay. So that's the first part. I wanted to read a couple of things to also set ourselves into a couple things. Where are they? Okay. And this is a beautiful quote I wanted to share with you today. Quote, "One has to be a light to oneself. This light is the law. There is no other law. All the other laws are made by thought, and so are fragmentary and contradictory. To be a light to oneself is not to follow the light of another, however reasonable, logical, historical, and however convincing." That's Jiddu Krishnamurti. Now, I wanted to read that because I'm always talking about our own work with ourselves, our own inner communion. You know, it is the primary relationship of your life. It is the most important relationship of your life. It is the most long-lasting relationship of all existence, is the you and you relationship, the I and I presence, the I am presence of the one that is in here. And we can talk about that spiritually and metaphysically. We can talk about it multidimensionally on so many levels. We can say that I'm simultaneously happening probably in parallel experiences, and I've actually experienced that. And so that's a wonderful awareness to that there is so much more going on in all time, all existence, and that this soul consciousness that is the one called I am in this lifetime is eternal. The relationship with you and you is vital, especially at this time, because there is so much pulling us away from our true nature, from our truth, from our higher self, from the higher consciousness, from the higher vibrational light. But remember, you signed up for this. You decided to be here at this time on this planet when all of this is happening. And it's not just this, it's whatever is happening for you. You are at the age you are in the location that you are with your history as it has been. No matter what all of that is, it's perfect. It's what your soul said, let's do this walk. And so here we are having this moment together, which I feel very honored. I really want you to understand. I feel truly honored to be in this moment, this now moment with you, especially for all of us who are actively participating fully live and simultaneously holding that space with those who will come in and anchor and connect on this live transmission replay. But for this moment, as we are so truly connected, I really want you to take a moment and really consider that you brought yourself to this moment. Consider that you made it happen. Sometimes we take for granted these things that we do in the world, how we set aside time, how we make a decision to pray in the morning or all day long, or take a walk in nature, or say I'm sorry to someone, or to set aside time for you that's for a bath or for some alone time or something like this, to what it takes for us to set everything else aside and come truly to the present moment. So in this total true present moment, I'm wanting you to remember that the holding of this light is activated through your consciousness and willingness to expand. So everything we are doing right now is going to be a part of that. It's your consciousness saying yes to the moment every second as you are plugging into this now moment and into this now moment, being as present as possible and holding a wider breadth, a wider stance, a wider holding, a wider conviction within yourself to be bigger and greater and more of the light and love that you are here for as a soul. So this activation, every step we do, you are coming back to that choice. It's a choice every moment. So I honor your choice for being here with me. I honor that we are all in this container together and everything we're going to do. And when I read the Krishnamurti quote, the reason why I did that is because you're the one who is the activator of all this. I may look like I'm leading this, but there's this, I don't know how to really say it other than to say that there is some sort of ancient and future agreement that I feel in every conversation that I do things like this, especially this, but I feel it a lot of the time because I'm just really keenly aware of our journey here on this planet. And everything that we're activating today is a part of a greater expression of your soul's commitment to be here now as we go through major changes and big rebalancings and coming over and clearing off the dark and the mucky that has been on this planet for so long. We are having to turn those tides, and that can look really scary and uncomfortable. But we've got it because you really, 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 really wouldn't be on the planet. You definitely wouldn't be here in this moment with your other fellow light walkers and journeyers on this planet at this time if you were not really for this. So the other thing I wanted to read to you is this. Let this sink in for a moment and center you. The law of grace. The law of grace supersedes the law of karma. If at one point we realize that we have done wrong and have truly learned our lesson, we may find ourselves dealing with the intervention of grace. This is when we can dodge the corrective action of karma because we have come to realize that what we have done is wrong and we can go to work fixing this. However, grace is not an excuse to avoid our responsibilities. Oops. I'm sorry. Sorry. I don't know why that's to avoid our responsibilities. Wow, this did not come through correctly. Oh, there we go. Avoid our responsibilities and make up for them later. It only comes to us when we have truly gained understanding and we move to use that understanding in our lives. Awareness of grace can come to us when we are facing a difficult situation and we call out for help. At that moment, it feels as if someone has lifted an enormous weight off of our shoulders, or we feel as if everything is going to be all right. It can come to us at a time when we feel down and suddenly we feel the strength to continue, or in a moment of inspiration, and we open ourselves to grace to make opening ourselves to grace can make our paths easier to travel. Edgar Cayce. Now, sorry I didn't say that super cohesively, but the reason I wanted to bring that is because Edgar Cayce obviously was called the sleeping prophet, and he channeled all kinds of information and for years, and I caught that one, and I was thinking about how so often Osira teaches and guides and aligns people at certain stages. There's definitely certain stages that I've witnessed in the work with Osira. And one of those stages is this sort of law of grace, this constantly talking about bringing ourselves back to grace. And, you know, the whole alignment to what grace can feel like is it's this, for everybody, it's going to be different, but it's this clearing energy. It's this releasing energy. It's stepping into faith so strongly that it's you and you. That's why I brought it back up at that time, because I had just been talking about that you and you space. This is what I really want for you all to be connecting to. This you and you, this I am presence, this sacred self, this eternal light, this eternal love, this eternal expanding consciousness. That's what we're plugging into today. That's what we're plugging into to expand and hold in the physical body as we are about to move through the, we could call them the darker months, when the light starts to change and we start to have to go inward and look at our shadow and look at what's kind of coming up. How do we really feel? What is it I'm really meant for? What do I really need to do here in this situation, in this situation, in this situation? We're taking it day by day, but at the same time, there's a theme that we're going to be holding for these next months. And in the face of sometimes what's going to feel like really intense stuff. I can't say what that is. I think that most of the people who are talking about the energies are very clearly recognizing that there's a number of ways, not only a number of ways it can go, but that there's also these choice points as an individual that we are making. And if you've been with me for any length of time, or even if you're new, I'm just going to remind you all, we are constantly choosing. And then there are choice points that are very specific. And this is one of them. This week is one of them. So even after this activation, even after today, but today really amplifies the field, especially when we're in communion like this together and in devotion and saying yes. So throughout this week, come back to your devotional connections, come back to your vows, come back to your declarations of where you stand and who you stand with, that you stand with and for the highest light, that you see and choose. I often say, I am a human chooser. I mean, I have to say that after all these years of working with Osira and them saying it so often in the ways that they teach us. And so I am a human chooser. And here's how I do it. I am a human chooser. And in this consciousness of the body that I am, I choose the highest light. I choose the highest love. I choose the willingness to transform and become greater than this version I was yesterday, today, These are the constant moving declarations I'm always making. So I'll remind you to do the same. Activate on a regular basis that you know you're here for a reason. You know you're here at this time on the planet, not to bury your head, not to wait for the storm to pass, but to actually anchor and hold more light and more love and more unity and more willingness to see the good in the dark, or the more able that you are capable to hold the willingness to remember that you're here at a pivotal point in human history, and that you're helping to elevate and to hold that on the planet. It's sometimes so interesting to me because I'll sometimes feel other people that I have known over the years. I mean, I have done thousands of readings, and I sometimes will hit, somebody will come into my consciousness, and it's literally like I will see that person as a light somewhere on the planet, like in their house, in another state, and I'll feel them, like anchoring light, being a light anchor on this planet. So it's so incredible if you really think about that there are millions of people who are consciously awakening and aware and doing this kind of work. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who've been doing it for a really, really long time, maybe their whole life. So there's a lot more happening than what meets the eye, especially if we're looking at regular mainstream stuff, because that's just not real life, in my opinion. That's all scripted acting. So not to get off on any tangents, going to open another aspect of our ceremony today by pulling in one of these beautiful cards just to hold the space with us as a connective consciousness thought. And so for all of us here in this moment on our very special equinox morning or afternoon, wherever you are, I call in this higher light. Ooh, beautiful. Oh, I wish you can see this one. I hope you can. It is the ever unfolding rose. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, so good. Cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. That's an incredible picture there. The ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's happening for you and not to you. I really like that. And we are going to go into our next process, which is going to be a small, I just want to see if I can find it. It's always, this book is not always easy for me to find. That's okay. I like the way that just looked. Because I feel our pull now. All right, my friends. You'll see me get flushed when the energy gets really strong. Okay. As I said the prayers and declarations before, we're going to activate now some devotions, activations, and from and with the Divine Feminine. And in order for us to do that, we're going to ground this first part of, it's not ground, we're going to open this first part. At the end, we're going to do an anchoring and a grounding of everything we received through some breath work. Right now, we're going to open. So we're going to open with some breath that is very specific, and I'm going to teach or tell you how to do it now. So I'm going to say a few words of that declaration that you're going to say back, and then we're going to do this breath, and it's very easy. It's not a hard one. We're going to breathe through the left and then through the right. Left, I'm sorry. The right. No. Yes, that was right. The right and then the left. So you're closing the left I hope I'm saying this right. Yes, I am. So you're going to close your left. The reason why I did it like this, that's why I'm trying to show you, is because it's easier to go this way and then this way. If it works for you to do that, that's fine. So we're going to breathe in through the right side nostril. And then we're going to breathe out. We're just practicing. And then those of you who have taken my breath workshop, you know, maybe you want to get a tissue. Maybe you already have one. Okay, so remember, it's like this. It's in through the right-hand side, and then it's out through the left-hand side. We're going to do that for 3 times, and then we're going to switch it, and we're going to do in through the left and out through the right. So I think I can guide you with that. So let's bring ourselves to the center. You'll do just fine. And if you would, put your hands together at your heart as we open this beautiful field to the divine transmissions of the Mother. We set our intention to be unified in the circle of light, that we're already hearts and light and souls joined together. And we center and hold this space in the devotion. And in this moment, it is our heart's intention to receive the highest transmission and the highest light codes and the highest love, guidance, support, information in all the ways with the Divine Mother. And so it is. And as you begin with me, here's where you repeat after me. I open to the highest light. I open to the highest love. I open to my highest beingness. I open my heart, body, mind, soul. And in this moment, gratefully receive the highest transmission of love and light with the Mother. And now, put your finger on your left nostril and breathe in with me. And out the left. In on the right. Out on the left. In on the right. And out. And now we're going to breathe in through the left. In through the left. And out through the right. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the left. And out through the right. And now breathe in with both. And hold it. And out through both, slowly and deeply, slowly. slowly, all the way up. There we are. Feel your body. Seven bright, balancing light breaths. And feel what your body feels like when you just take a moment to really shift your breathing. You can do that in any way, any way that feels right. But really right now, just savor that 7 breath specifics to this moment. And with the Divine Feminine, we are going to be aligning our own body in receivership of high guidance from within, for releasing fears and transmuting them to a greater faith as an individual, to a better faith, and offer a better faith for all. And for activations of purpose, blessings, and transmuting lower, denser energies, so we activate thriving in our own lives and on the planet. So that is where we are, and that is what we are now about to step into, the beautiful, sacred receiving of the Divine Mother. So as you have activated your body and you have calmed your nervous system, and you're in the center of your own beautiful chalice well within, hold the center of light, of column of light, that is beautifully connected and rooted into and with the earth, and reaches up into the celestial heavenly realms of a higher dimensional light of consciousness, of that which we are all participating, embodied. So we're running a beautiful synastry of light frequency. And you can close your eyes and get comfortable and really allow this transmission with the mother energies, the divine feminine energies, to come through. Dearest ones, I am here. I am that one many of you know and recognize as Divine Mother Mary. And in this moment I speak. I come forward and I take this stand with the voice of all names of all the mothers divine, holding the codes of the highest order, of the highest intentions for your unity, your wholeness, and your remembering codes to activate. I am in this moment holding this space, surrounding each and every one of you, aligning to a beautiful template of a higher consciousness through the light vortex that is occurring right now. Literally, you are experiencing an evolutionary consciousness expansion. There are beings on this planet, light force of good, of the holy, and of the highest light that are assisting. When you remember this, you feel it. When you touch in, you hold it. When you say yes remind me you are being helped, you are being supported. I am here in this moment as this particular time requires you to remember your glory, your goodness, your willingness to walk through many experiences that have changed you, that have moved you. I say this with so much love, knowing what sometimes that is for you. It is not necessary to recall the past always. There is such a thing as truly closing the door and moving forward, moving onward, relinquishing the old ties that bind, those old ways that do not serve at a higher lighted dimensional frequency. Very often, that is what happens for you, each and all, when the death experience comes to the body. But there is no death, dearest ones. There is only the closing of the door and stepping into a new room, a new home, a new palace, a new life. Many of you have done this before already in your lifetime now that you walk. Many of you have realized that you have done this time and time and time and time again. And I give you this remembering today because this does indeed mark a clear path forward. This is a determiner this time. This time is a determiner for the alignment of the golden light path that you walk. Each of you are holding your own key codes specific to yourself, to your own journey as a soul, for that mission and that incarnation that you have called to yourself with the body and the life that you are living, while also calling yourself to the next levels, dearest ones. I am so supremely aware of each of your experiences. And in this moment, it is my greatest honor to stand for you, to purify anything that is heavy in your journey, heavy in your heart. That once you see, it matters not really that it was a part of the journey necessary for your expansion. It becomes food for the soul. And in a sense, I want to make sure you're clear, each and every heart, within the reach of my voice at this moment, that you are awakening and aware to what you are feeding your soul. There is a greater order happening here, my dearest children. There is a greater order here, each and every one of you, no matter your age. I remind you that your heart is that of the purity of a child, innocent. No matter what the life experience has brought you, you are eternally love. No matter what you have transmuted in a lifetime, you are the light of love, of creation. You are the essence of creation itself. There are consciousness waves at certain times that come to disperse a higher order and clear what cannot stay. There has been much that has been trying to hold to an old pattern and an old way. Making a choice at this time is so important. Making a choice that no matter what does show up, seemingly to the collective whole, that you, as the individual consciousness, are arising to a higher order, to a higher light, divine order, divine light, which only can be the transmission of love, harmony, of a goodness within. As you keep choosing and being this, remembering that in the face of what appears experiential for many, may not need to be experiential for you. You all are truly at different points in the journey. So what your neighbor may need to experience may not be what you experience, though you live on the same block. Understand that at its core, and you become free in your life to be the greatest service of all. It is a transformation occurring on this planet. You are stepping forward into a new frequency on this planet. And though it may look so very dark for many, and for the collective whole, I say to you, when birth happens, there is a shattering of what was. When something new is born, something has to change for that new growth to become. And so if you can hold the balance, the equilibrium in your own heart and your own soul, you can hold something that is precious, that is pure, that is righteous, and that is good for all. You need not necessarily see that you are doing it or that you get the accolades to have it show up. But I remind you, as so many of your guardians and guides remind you, that is not what you are here for. You are not here to be accoladed for the works of the heart, the soul, and the light of love. You are here to be it and the transmission of it. As you hold firmly and sovereignly to the interior alignment of these beautiful codes that are coming, that are here, that are activating at this time on this planet with many, including yourselves. You hold the frequency of a new world of consciousness. And that new world is a humanity of love, of unity, of considerations. Here, I must say to you, though, that I see many of you have doubts at times, so it is important that I address those doubts. There are great shifts occurring, and they are needed and necessary. And not all beings need to see those great shifts in order to have the effect of what those great shifts are doing. The doubts that come up within you, that arise, need your attention simply for the seeing, the acknowledgement, and then the trust to come in and say, but I believe in a greater order. I believe in the higher light. I believe in the higher love. I am that. The more that you are able and willing to do that, the more that you expand into holding these key codes, you anchor that within your consciousness. And so I say to you this day, as I make a very clear stand, ever eternally aligned with each and every soul, for the mother of all creation is with you. This I am, the one voice as it flows through to support your remembering, not to be the one and only, for there is only one, and that you are. And as I come and make this stand, this declaring, as this beautiful daughter says, it is your heart's ignition to the reclamation of your rebirth over and over and over again. That when it feels darkest, your own interior shadows are just trying to purify. And as they purify, you purify externally in ways that you might not always see. And so I return to the center with you. I return to the golden road that you are ushering in as you continue and carry yourself forward, knowing and trusting each and every day that that is the path you have committed to. That is the journey that you are on. As you do this, those things that feel heavy and dense are just what needs to purify, just what needs to be felt. Let it move through you, beloved ones. Let it move through you and melt off of you as you step forward on this golden road, knowing that this higher frequency is stabilizing. You are anchoring it with your consciousness. In this moment, it is my clear recognizing to see each and every heart aligned in this perfect now moment to the divine design that is orchestrating upon this planet at this time. It is with the highest key codes of love, of the transmission of four that I offer you. In the way of this sacred understanding, this level of four consciousness opening, aligning, and downloading through and with you. It is being done with this moment of this highest light transmission. So it is that I say to you each, center into your heart, my loves. Place your hands gently to your own precious heart. For that is who and how and what you really are, eternal love, eternal light. Placing your hands on your precious heart, know that I am with you. Feel my love move in with you. I am at your front and I am at your back. I am to your side and your other side. I hold your precious feet and your beautiful crown. And where you stand, I am with you. For this way that I am the love of the Mother Eternal, you are never not with that one. These soul encodements precisely land at the key code of a higher order as a new template within your own divinity, awakening and aligning at this frequency now. Your heart has the wings of light. Beautiful beings of the eternal consciousness, I say to you, activate and remember where it is your alignments are. Facing what comes with this kind of remembrance. Facing and feeling and moving your heart through the sticky or shadowy passageways only helps you have more conviction for who and how you are. At this time on the planet, my beloveds, I recognize you each. I hold for all humanity the eternal flame of love, the transformation into a higher template of consciousness activated within your body, streaming a higher light. In and of this, you own your sovereignty. In and of this, you are the transmission. In and of this, your peace and freedom is known to you. For some of you, I can see great revelations will be had, awakenings. Even in your sleep time, there will be the activations that will make it very clear. This is your greatest journey. So many of you are holding the angelic codes literally to the earth. You are planted, for you are earth angels of light. That does not negate that you have lived physical human life, nor should it. It is a blessing to behold, to be human. To hold and be human is a blessing and a great honor and service when you are the remembrance of the higher light. And this you are. Acknowledge this with me in this moment. These key code transmissions in 4, I say, activating at the highest light of love. All is well here. All is holy here. all is whole here. And as this anchors, literally, through the activity of your cells, through the activity of your consciousness, your right-minded thinking, your ways of offering love, even in the face of not love. You are here serving through that. You are the remembrance of the totality of all of your life incarnations, while simultaneously you are crossing this golden bridge into a higher order of the new golden age. For many of you, you are laying down your key codes so that you may come again at a time even when the earth has expanded into this consciousness that seems so unavailable now. But I say not. It is available now. It is coming. It is stabilizing. It is balanced. It is holy. It is whole. And that, dearest ones, is what you are. Peer into the great future. Peer in and pull it towards you. Look to the light of your sun and put your hands upon the earth and put your hands upon your heart. And remember, the I am presence of all that is all things, is right where you are. I say, with all intention of the truth, of the light, of the way, of love, for where I stand, for what it is that my voice is for. I declare this as good and very good. I see this as done and very done. I hold to each and every one of you into the golden lightness of your being, your heart wings alighted, and the truth of the column of light within you, anchored, clear, sturdy, and strong. And this moment, I say to each and every one of you, my heart is your heart, and I love you purely and truly, eternally, for we are the oneness of all. Hello. I'm just being in the moment very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you. I feel the strength moving through my spine of the light that moves through to allow that to come through my voice and my body. And it is incredible. And it's a lot. It was a real lot to stay. I really feel like she was purifying me, just so you know. That's why I think I'm getting a little more emotional in this moment, because it's been a little bit of a challenge in the last days. And it's been heavy energy. And she just purified a lot of that denseness that I was carrying around. So thank you. And thank you for being a witness to my process. It's also part of why I feel that this sacred container is the way it is, and that it's not a broadcasting to the entire world, because my process is real and true. And, sometimes it's a bit much to be seen in all the vulnerable places and ways, but this is my process. And I feel honored to carry it forward. I feel honored to be the transmitter and be able to be this. But the tears that come sometimes after, especially with Mother Mary, it's for me too. And I have learned that I have to allow it to move through me. Because when I step away and this body-mind construct to be grace and all of the ways that I'm human and evolving and doing this work and being the light just as you are, I have my own experience to keep growing and evolving. And I've never rushed that. And I've never tried to be perfect. And I've never tried to be a know-it-all, because I'm surely not. But now you're seeing like the truth of the energetic thing that comes through. I just have to tell you what that was like, just so you know. It was in my spine, so strong, and I need to twist. And that is really important for people who channel. Pure channelers who really move out of the way and the ego construct is not involved, have to allow that energy to move through, but then to clear this channel that the person is. So there's a lot there. And it's also one of the reasons why I don't always channel Mother Mary publicly, really a lot. It's because to me, the sanctity and the sacredness is so powerful, and it is so, it so touches my my being. And so thank you for witnessing it, but also thank you for receiving what she just gave, what she is and how she aligns to you, how the mother of all of life in that embodiment and in that voice just energetically came forward and to lay in with you those signatures of light, those signatures of love, and that opens up you. So it's really my honor, but it's also my extraordinary gratitude, because that is very special. And I could feel the sincerity when I came back in. My body was so, and I don't always talk about this, but I'm sharing it with you just to be completely transparent and raw and real. My body, when I came back in, it was so apparent that she was so precise and exacting, and she was really energetically transmitting something that was very, very powerful. And I could feel it in my spine, and it was clearing my own column of light where I was holding on to some stuff that I couldn't relax and let go of in the last days. So thank you. I hope that was helpful and I hope that was good for you. And, you can also go back and re-listen to that part when we send out the transmission. And this is really for you. This is for you and your sacred intention and your sacred devotion, your sacred honoring of your own life and your own consciousness and your own soul's walk, your own devotion to the divine feminine within you, no matter what our, our gender or how we're born. We all have our masculine and feminine. We all have our inner divine mother and inner divine father. So it is really important for us to link back up to that and really honor that in our life and in our body and in our way, like however that works for you. And she, the mother, and in her name as Mother Mary, really is a powerful energetic signature on this planet. And so to be in connection with that and to really receive those transmissions, those downloads, those words, the frequencies. I hope that was helpful. I hope it was great for you. We're going to move forward into, okay. So the Osira and Divine Mother channeling part of this container and the frequencies. I read the other ones and now I'm going to read this part. For holding the world as bridgers, let me read that again. For holding as world bridgers to a new earth, and the highest timelines of love and unity are activated within and made manifest. For clearing old encoded timelines on the body, mind, while activating the living transmission at a higher frequency. And for the divine feminine and the divine masculine integration of living the freedom within that creates freedom externally. So I'm going to have a little drink of tea. Whatever is happening for you right now, and this experience is perfect. I often get emails and texts sometimes where people will say that in these transmissions, they were super activated. Sometimes people can't stay awake. Sometimes they were super, super crying and can't participate because there's so much activity. And, energy is just a constant, and we are just transforming and moving through. It's just changing. So now you're going to see that in this experience as we move from that part of our holding space. I'm going to clear with this beautiful bowl again, just to add. Okay, I'm feeling the openness of the space. All right, so I needed to shift that energy because I was feeling super tender. And checking in with you. How are you all doing? We have one more full-on activation part and breath, and then we're gonna wrap up some of this, most of it. Just checking in if you want to say anything, if you want to share. I'm just curious if you're all doing okay as we transition into this next part. You can let me know on the chat. All right. I would love to see it. What else? Oh, doing great. I'm so glad, Mindy. Thank you. Wonderful. It's always good to know you guys are still here and doing good. All right. Thank you, Tammy. Yeah, just needed to check in with you guys, with you all beautiful people, beautiful souls. Okay. I appreciate you very much. Now we're going to step in. Thank you, Dachin. We're soaking up so much beauty. Thank you, Grace, for being a channel of Mother Mary. It was a beautiful experience. I'm so glad. Thank you, Patty. Zoned out, but we'll re-listen. Yes, it happens, doesn't it, Leslie? Oh, thank you, Roseanne. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. I really appreciate each and every one of you. This is so special and magical. It's wonderful to feel your presence, you know. I would like us to step back into this commitment, and let's talk about that for a second. I'm very aware of lots of people's different experiences right now at this time too. And, you know, some people are in really great places and some people are not. And that's how it always is. But what we're doing as we transition through this week, we are here. Here's what I'm ready to kind of lay out to you. What we are doing at this time today, especially, and then in the days to come, I would say in the next, I want to say 7 to 9 days, is a really strong declaration of what we want to experience and the higher timelines of consciousness. So I know I said it before, and I know probably Mother Mary said her version of this, but I want to reiterate that and what it means. Literally, on a regular basis, keep asking yourself to return to a higher level of consciousness. And you can literally say that. You just say, you know, wherever you are, whatever your day is encompassing, each day, no matter what comes up, you can say, I consciously choose the highest timeline on this planet, the higher dimensional timelines. People will say, they'll say things like, you're going to pick the 5th dimension of consciousness. Okay. But what if I am actually a resonation for the 7th dimension of consciousness, which is even higher? So my point with that is nobody has the monopoly on what's the rightest thing. And you know, if you've worked with me before, that's where I stand. I do not say I know the way for anyone. I just am here offering what it is that I know I'm supposed to offer. And if it resonates, and if it lands, and if it connects, and if it's for you, then it's for you. So in that way, my determination, my declaration, my commitment is that you open yourself up to be in the highest way that your life is to be, fulfilling your highest embodiment and highest destiny, your highest ways of saying, yes, I step up to even higher, and I step up to even higher. I cross this golden bridge of consciousness at the highest level that's possible for me, for this soul, for my future self, for the connection of my higher self. This is how we do it. So it's like some people are like, well, maybe it'll just happen. Some people are like, no, you have to make it happen. Some people are, you have to write it out. And if you don't write it out, it won't happen. Like all of those ways can work at different times for all of us, you know, and depending upon where we are, where we've been, how much life we've lived, things like that, our maturity level. Oh, I like that. I activate at the highest light of love. That's right. That's a great one, isn't it? I activate at the highest light of love. These are the kinds of ways that I look like probably an insane person, but nobody's really paying attention. But I literally walk around my neighborhood saying those things. I have these incredible downloads of mantras that come to me all the time. And then I just get stuck on them and stuck on them and stuck on them for a while until another one comes in. So that's what I'm just reminding you of. very often our left brain ideas about how to do anything in this world tell us that we've got to write it down, we've got to re-listen to something 10,000 times. That can work. That's helpful because we lose our minds, we forget all of the things. We do need to kind of, it's like this body, right? This body really couldn't go for a long time without food and water. It would eventually be incapable of operating. It's kind of like that too with our commitment and devotions. So breathing, that's a good one. Breathing yourself back in, aligning yourself with these kinds of statements through your breath, through your sound, through your voice, through your choice, connects you to being one of these stabilizing lights on the planet. You know, there's a lot of talk about the 144,000 and whether or not you believe in that and where it comes from or not. When I first heard that, I think it was like in the 80s, and my whole body leapt out, my whole soul leapt out. And I was like, oh, I know that. I mean, I don't know that, but I know that. What is that? And I just knew that was a part of my signature of something, but I didn't know it like that. And then I had this interesting experience where I was having a reading with someone who does human design. And she said that I was a part of the 144,000. And I was just like, I always knew that. And that, it wasn't from the ego. It was from my soul, from my spirit, from this part of me that knows the ancientness of my being. And that my absolute, complete and utter devotion is to the light and love, transformation here on this planet and in myself. And so that's this torch I carry. That is my devotion. That is my commitment. That is my vow. And though I get scrambled in the world at times and I've got to deal with teenagers and life as it is, that's where I always come back to. That is my absolute commitment. I also don't necessarily believe there's only 144,000. That doesn't seem like actually enough for a planet of 8 billion. So I tend to kind of think along the lines of maybe there's 144,000 pods of light that are being activated on this planet. Pods meaning communities, consciousness at that level of a light devotion. And so that's how I feel about it. I feel like there's some truth that comes in and I catch that and I'm like, okay, so I can deal with that because it's not like I'm trying to be special. What I'm trying to say is I so resonate with that light holding, those light workers, those light walkers, those light beings. And I feel like every dark, heavy trial and tribulation that I have gone through always just eventually, no matter how horrible and hard it has been, which there's been many that have been, brings me back to a more fervent conviction of my devotion to that light walk and to being that torch carrier and lighting the way. So that is where I stand with that. And here you all are a part of this beautiful light pod. You are holding your own, remembering yourself, remembering the consciousness of your greater expansion beyond the limits of what human beingness, puts on us. And so that's what we're doing. And now we're going to make that commitment, kind of bookend it with the devotion and connection with Osira. So as always, it's so exciting to have Osira come in. And I wanted to just check and see what I want to say about that. Yeah, they're just gonna I'm just gonna step aside and let them come in. All right. How about that? Sound good? All right. So, moving into this next stage, we are anchoring the codes of light, opening up in the field. We're going to receive this transmission with Osira. And I'm going to let go. That's all I'm going to do. Oh, boy. Okay, my beautiful friends, soul mates and soul tribe, light tribe, community of beautiful souls. We anchor and connect together. Indeed, greetings to you, dear ones. We are that one known as Osira, and we are, in fact, as always, overjoyed to be in this alignment with you. We are indeed recognizing you. We are indeed recognizing the potency and the power of this very expressive moment of the connection with our beloved channel. We are also recognizing each and every one of you. We are recognizing your soul signatures in the present now moment that is eternal, as we would say. It is the present now moment. It is the present now moment. It is the present now moment. And in this present now moment, you can allow yourself to soften. The reason why we say that is because there's an attention that you are paying. At the same time, we are acknowledging the ways in which this transmission can be most beneficial. We are recognizing each and every one of you. We are recognizing your soul essence, the soul signature, and the way in which you are linking up consciousness at a higher degree. And what a joy it is to see. If you could see how it is the vibrational frequency is being raised in your very specific home, your specific area, your specific neighborhood, and how that is amplifying. We would say to you, you would be astonished. You are light frequency keepers. You are the code carriers of light. This is an acknowledgement from us to you for your own journey. Forget it not. Remember, remember, remember that you are an amplifier of consciousness on this earth. And here is a very important piece we must dive into at the beginning. Everything you are feeding yourself is adding into that pond. Everything you are paying attention to is either amplifying a greater light of consciousness through love and an activation of that level, or it is pulling that away. So we want to acknowledge all the things. We want to say it like this. If you are desiring to, look to be, let us say it again. If you are desiring to manifest and co-create, which you are, this time is going to be a proliferating time of manifestation and co-creation. So being in right alignment is going to be a very strong point. That is why we say it's a choice point at this time upon your planet. This particular gateway, this particular turning at this moment of your, usually the word equinox energetics on this planet is a very specific choice point. And in the days following, still will be amplifying that choice point, continuing for you to make those choice point activations. And here is the tricky bit. If you were to be wanting to manifest, let us say, a relationship or a new job. If you were, let us use those two as an example. For the relationshiping, if you were wanting to be in a partnership with someone new and you wanted to manifest your heart's desire at the next level of soul connection, we would say you would not behoove that energy. It would not help you to be watching violent movies or it would not behoove you to stay at home and not connect. How to is what do you feed? What do you feed? You would watch those things that would make you feel loving and remember who you are and how you want it or don't want it. You open up the field of what it is you want by being in that field. You, in some ways, be that right now at your greatest level. The same with your scenarios of creating a new job situation or new life situation in any capacity. You would not focus on the very opposites of that. You would focus on being what it is you want. We come back again and again and again with our human friends about this experience because there's this conversation that runs through the thread where very often our human friends will say, but oh, Sarah, I just can't focus on only the light only and only the good only, when clearly there's not good here and there's not light here and there's not good here and there's not light here. And we say, if you keep being clear on that there is not that, then that is what you will receive. It will be made manifest. The vibrational connections will be that. If you focus on what you love, if you focus on what you are as that love, if you focus on light being your experience, for the majority, you will experience the reflection and the vibrational matching of that energy. The alignments navigate to pull you into those streams of light frequency. If you don't, if it is you focus on the thing you don't want all the time, we can assure you you'll get that which you don't want all the time. If you focus on the love, if you focus on the things of transformation, if you focus on the light, it literally becomes a part of your signature, and your signature can't help but match the frequency outside of you. What we find is some of our human friends tend to feel guilty about that, so they stop the flow. And so we would ask you, is that a shadowy piece? The reason why we are bringing this up is because here you are in a time where the light and the dark are beginning to balance for a moment, and you are going to go into these different depths of consciousness for a period of time in order to review what you don't want and what you do want, what it is that you're calling forward in the world and what you are not calling forward in the world, re-examining who and how and what you are and how you are wired, what it is your frequency is. So in this time, if you are fueling yourself with light and love, noticing when there is the shadowy, heavier pieces, at least you allow that light and love to meet that shadowy piece with an energy of intention for its dissolution in order to expand into greater and greater light. That is what you are doing by making yourself available for this conversation, for this transmission, because you are making yourself available for a wider holding of light. You are making yourself available to be conscious of the walk you are doing each and every day, and noticing if you are in right alignment, if you are feeling the vow and the intentions that we see have been made already here in this space. When you recognize that that was where you need to return back to, you actually dissipate those things that would be those shadowy pieces that were trying to get their foothold. And we don't mean they as in a separate presence, but what we mean is how it is your own thinking can take you into the dark corners. As the dark corners become illuminated with your own righteous thought, you look at the dark corners and they become illuminated, literally. You see rightly. You see with a higher dimensional frequency of consciousness. You see with a broader vision. You feel with a broader vision. And that helps dissolve those things that wanted the foothold into a familiar pattern. And so as you keep stepping through in these days to come especially, you are anchoring and connecting, anchoring and connecting, anchoring and connecting to a higher light. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. You are anchoring and connecting to a higher light, anchoring and connecting to a higher light, anchoring and connecting to a higher light, choosing that, feeding that to your choice points at this pivotal time is what literally anchors and connects, anchors and connects. As you do that, you make a literal declaration, you plug into that frequency and it aligns and connects. It is and can be seen as a literal way. And you can trust that it is occurring. Your thought is the first place. Your heart intention is the first place. Your body consciousness, by being more aware. People tend to live way too tightly in their own heads and thinking. That is where these thoughts of guilt come in. Oh, I'm rising, I'm getting good at being in alignment. I am manifesting and magically happening, and the synchronistic flow is happening in and around me. Oh, someone else is not there. Oh, I better feel guilty about that. Oh, I cut off my flow in order to match that person's level of consciousness. That doesn't mean you're better, or it doesn't mean you're worse. It means that that's what is a trap, and that is very often what is happening for the majorities. Here's what we'd say, especially at this time. As you recognize that you do it, you can change it in the moment. You can recognize, it doesn't mean you are discounting other people's experiences. It doesn't mean you are not being empathetic. It doesn't mean you aren't being compassionate, understanding, and caring. It means you see that that is the level of consciousness, but you choose yourself interiorly not to come down to that kind of level, which you have worked so hard to illuminate within yourself. Because that is where it starts first. And the more of you that do this work, you illuminate it for yourself, you actively offer it to others who will see and experience you in a different way because you are not feeling guilty or wanting to match their frequency. You will hold a higher light of transformation right where they stand, even if they are standing in a place where it feels very heavy, holding darkness, holding fear, holding worry. What we are saying is you don't dispute them, that it's not the way they are experiencing, but you hold what you are, not just what you are experiencing. Catch that. Because the more you illuminate these places within you, the freer you get, the more you can anchor the higher light, anchor the higher light, anchor the higher light, anchor the higher light within your body, mind construct of being human. You are not these beings that you pretend to be, although you are, you play the part, you do the avatarness in the way in which you are experiencing human life, and it is a gift and you are evolving through it. Simultaneous to that, you are the experiencer of the consciousness that is greater and greater and greater than that. And as you remember that, you hold it more consciously in the body experience. And as you do that, you can be the light of transformation for others where they cannot see themselves as being capable of being that. So this is an activation of great proportions for you to not be in denial. Remember that. We're not saying you just go into denial. You say, oh, I know what we all are seeing. I know what many are seeing. I know I've looked at it all too. I know that I have felt these ways and I've seen that there is a lot going on. And simultaneous to that, my life is a blessing. My life is a courageous mission. My life is a courageous mission of love. My life is the devotion to the higher light and the living that I am here to be for that which I have come unto and for myself, for the world. For I and I are one. So this is what we say you are actively doing. If you hear what we're saying, if you get what we are saying, be and do and remember that in any given moment, especially when the opportunity arises for you to plug right back into the old, lower, denser frequencies. Here's the thing. Many years ago, we talked about how it is that humanity would go through a very, in many ways, deconstructing time, and you are in it. You are absolutely in it. You are in it. It is deconstructing. You're having cataclysmic changes of magnitudes that many are terrified about. But here's the thing. The more you plug into them, the more they become a collective agreement. We would say you have the propensity and the potentials to move energy into a higher frequency on this planet through a collective group, through collective groups. And the more 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 of you that do that, you raise this vibration. And here's the funny bit. Some of our human friends say, but that's not possible. It's inevitable. There's going to be these things. And we say, well, there will be those for those who believe that there will be those. And that's always the way it's been, was the entirety of everybody experiencing one thing as there were different wars on this planet? No, there were some people that were literally in the experience of the wars, and collectively there was a consciousness that was feeding that war. So we're saying you are transforming, you are learning how, through these kinds of evolutionary steps on your planet, to evolve past an old paradigm that is absolutely not working and is breaking down. It is opening you up to a greater level of consciousness. It's literally like there's a burst in the field, and you can take that route, or you can choose not to take that route. So we said there would be an Earth A and an Earth B many, 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 many years ago. We would say you would want to choose Earth B. Be on the higher timelines, be on the higher consciousness levels, be in choice points within yourself that every given moment possible, you say, I am love and I stand for that. I am light, I stand for that. I am love and unity, I stand for that. I am that. That is my courageous mission, and I am here serving. And we know you simultaneously are here to live a life that matches that, but the more and the more and the more and the more you align to that, you hold that frequency, and others feel you, others sense you, others align to that higher consciousness, even if you don't actively meet those persons in the physical flesh. This is the way of the future. This is the way you are anchoring heaven to earth. This is the way of a collective agreement of the higher light consciousness evolving humanity into a golden new age. This is what you are all doing. And those of you have that resonation, those of you that feel the twinkle, those of you that know the light codes, those of you that see through the dimensional fields of consciousness, those of you who feel and know this is your mission, hold sturdily to that. Return back to it as if your life and breath depended upon it, because at this moment in time, it does. And you are anchoring through your template of consciousness, a new template for humanity to hold and know as well. Yours is unto yourself perfectly. Yes, she, the mother, comes forward and anchors heaven to earth each and every time. And we are in alignment and agreement for that to the highest degrees. And we meet you right where each and every one of you are. And we say, your purposefulness is in the moment of your willingness to transform any and all heaviness, any and all tears, darkness, angers, resentments, unforgiveness, judgments. All of that is what holds a crystallized version of the density that has been here for so long. And those of you who have the spirit and the soul and the consciousness to rise in a higher way, holding and anchoring, balancing justly, that the new orders of life are here, the new orders of the divine design. It is not we're recognizing they are new orders of your own consciousness to rise in a higher way, to anchor love, to anchor consciousness, to anchor willingness, to anchor the hope for what you know is the potential for heaven on earth to be a participant in your life, your experience. For it is, as our beloved channel said, the word, you and you, as we always say, it is this relationship, you and you, the relationship you are having with you. You will take your last breath when you lift off your avatar body, and you will say, oh, we did it so well, we, the I and I, that you really then see is all pervasive everywhere throughout existence. And there is only one real experience here, the eternalness of the I am presence as oneness of all creation. And that is good and very good. And the ways in which that shows up here and now is moving through you to awaken you within the body. So this relationship, this way of being in right relationship with you is the highest order at this time. Loving, guiding, listening, honoring, waking up the sleepingness within you, waking up past judgments and filters of unforgiveness, waking up past the ways in which you have lived in fear-based thought, opening to the expression that your life is good and very good opens you up to your life being good and very good in the now moment, for that is all you have. And that keeps creating more of all you have and experience. So it is this wonderful, beautiful unity dichotomy. You are in it all and feeling so very separate, but there is never separation, dear ones. Hold back in, look around you, know where you can plant seeds of love, offer them up, bloom them within your own heart. Say yes to this courageous high mission that you've come into, and anchor the higher light consciousness through and as you. When we see that our beautiful friends are doing the work for many, many years, some of you feeling this for so long, and simultaneously been on your own unconsciousness level. There are peeling back, there are layers that are being peeled back now. You are absolutely going to, many of you have to face certain fears in yourself. You're purging these last pieces of where it is you have held yourself back, where it is that you have felt lack of confidence, where it is that you have felt like you wanted to hide, where it is that you felt like you were not enoughness. All of the ways that those old connections have tethered to you. It is time now to really examine them, move through them, see them as those fear-based old ideas, old constructs that have kept this planet, this consciousness, these human beings into the slave mentality, and rise up. Rise into a greater consciousness. The divine feminine and the divine masculine at this time are purging and clearing and rising. And there is a greater aspect to each and all being born and born and born again. You are collectively doing it, and your neighbor, it doesn't matter so much their journey as what you do here within you activates more out there. And then you align to, maybe it is not the neighbor over there, but it's the neighbor over there that you connect to, or the person over here when you thought it was going to be the person over there. Let the truth settle in. Let the light of love come to your door and knock by being it in here. That is a part of the way at this time for choosing a higher dimensional frequency and consciousness. What we also want to say for our beloved friends who feel the impetus to ask, we hear, see, sense some of you. We hear, see, sense this kind of question. Is it going to be okay, Usaira? Is it going to be okay? And we say, yes, dearest ones, yes, 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 yes. You're not here just simply to ride out the storm, to go underground, as we said before, and hide until it's over. We have seen some of our friends say that, feel that, think that. And we would say, that's where the courage comes online, even stronger, where the brave heart finds its wings to fly as you have this day, to remember that you have come for a greater lesson within yourself, to remember your truth in the face of what seems so uncertain. But yet, dear ones, see the spiralizing perfection in this moment. See the spiralizing spirals of your own strands of DNA and your own awakening cellular codes open, accept more light, and link up to a higher consciousness. See it. We put that for you. We put that forward. It is possible. It is happening. It is happening. It is happening. Choose that you see the ways in which the perfection of the divine design is in perfect order. And this new order that is happening within you is restructuring the old ways. And as you see it occurring, you can just hold steady, hold steady, hold steady, and balance. Balance that you are all of it, but you choose the higher light. Balance that you see that you've been in all of the places you've been regarding responsibility, victimization, judgment, lack, old ideas, old beliefs, and that you can balance it with That's where I was, and I hold a new frequency. I hold to the new earth. I hold to the golden key codes, the template of love, the template of light. I am that. I align and I remember these particulars, the ways in which you can offer them. You can write, you can speak, you can say, you can sing. Anchor them through your body. Anchor them through the consciousness. Pray it, be it, live it, share it as best you can, as in being it. The being it comes first from your own levels of acceptance. One must accept the I am presence of the eternal light force, the lightness of love as yourself. You must accept it. I am that. I am the lightness of the force of love. I am the lightness of the force of light. I am the lightness and the consciousness of unity. I choose this. I anchor this. I be this. These powerful statements of intentionality, conviction, your vows, devotions, and decrees, your prayers, and your proclamations to stand for and with that amplify something greater than beyond what seems to be happening in the world. No thing can stand against what is the truth. And the truth does prevail. Each and every heart aligns to what it is that they need. So remember, what your neighbor or your 15 neighbors down the street or your family members in another state or your friends in another country are experiencing is for what is their soul's journey. That doesn't mean you don't add into the pot of love. That doesn't mean you don't amplify light. That doesn't mean you don't care, send prayers, do whatever you could, if you could, amplify to do a thing. It doesn't mean you stay home and you close up shop and you don't go out and you don't offer light and love in the form of your living. It means you do all those things and you do care about your friends and your family in different states and countries and your neighbors down the street, and you offer that you are doing the work and you are holding the higher space of consciousness, that you are spiralizing your own DNA, activation of the light codes within your cellular construct of the body, light beingness that you are, anchored to the earth experience and the 3D reality experience of what is transitioning through the fourth dimensional frequency, which is pretty dense, to the fifth dimensional consciousness, through and as holding key codes of higher dimensions even than that. But you are in the transition. You are in the face of what it is to burn it all down, to build it back up, to be reborn again. This is what you are experiencing. And as you move through the days and weeks and months ahead, you remember this moment. You remember this moment. You remember this moment. I am a declaration of light and love. My heart is alighted with the conviction of my brave and courageous mission. This, as you make that proclamation, is an energetic signature that moves through your cellular composition within the body consciousness that you are and activates an entire stream and system of holding to a new reality. That is, in effect, how you choose, anchor, hold a new timeline for and with the beings who are on the same kind of frequency bandwidth. This is happening all over your planet. See it as the truth. Trust in the divine design within you and without. In this way, we anchor these codes, acknowledging your receivership, acknowledging this moment, acknowledging this portal of time, acknowledging this gateway of opportunity, that in the days to come, you pull yourself back in and you listen again and you anchor and you declare and you hold and you allow. No matter if sometimes it feels as if you have forgotten and you don't know where you are, who you are, what you even heard, there is something greater happening here. This divine design and the orchestration of love and light is moving onto your planet. It is affecting millions and millions of beings. You are waking collectively and you are making a huge leap. You are expanding in a collective agreement of a golden age for human evolutionary consciousness. This is what is happening. This is what is happening. This is your life experience. This is what you are making that declaration to. I am of light. I am of love. Anything that is not that, I dispel and release with the consciousness that anything and everything that has occurred and will be shown to me, I can see and release and acknowledge. And then I move forward. I move onward. I step into the greater consciousness, one step, one day, one moment, one breath at a time. And we say, uniting hearts at this time, these beautiful key codes activate within you. We call this forward in a direct alignment for the power and the force of love to amplify, reverberate through this frequency in the ways in which it is offered. We offer this in the codes 922121, open, clear paths. Wider, clearer, fuller, truer, 7721212121, open, clear, 221, activate, holding in. We say there is a great love here. There is an amplification of great proportions. We say in this moment, we surrender with you to the center point of the purest opening of love to proliferate this planet. We hold and anchor that with each and every one of you at this time, knowing that your journey is our journey. We are extending our hands from what you know to be a future timeline, and we are pulling you with us to a greater degree. We look forward to the journey. We know you have it in you. We say with each and every one of you, your heart is a streaming beacon of the codes of consciousness for a new golden age. Drop those codes of light wherever you go and remember your purity. Remember your sanctuary is within your own heart, your own beingness, and the relationship with you and you. We look forward to each and every one of your hearts as we move with you in this time-space continuum as you see it and experience it. And we know you are indeed aligned for a greater, greater, greater expansion inwardly. We look forward to more. We bid you the most loving and magical and happy adieu. Hi. No, thank you, Leslie. Wow, huh? I'm sort of spinning right now. Just to be honest. I feel like I just got off the roller coaster ride, really. That's crazy. Sometimes it feels like that. Sorry, hit me. Sorry. Ooh, that might seem insane, but it felt great, really great to have that chuckle, have that laughter. They are so beautiful, wonderful, fabulous. Gosh, I love you, Osira. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that was big. I feel like that was really just really potent. Again, another potent transmission and activation. There was a lot in that. I want to express to you that I sort of was standing. It sort of feels like I'm sort of standing over there. I don't see myself. I just sort of hear myself. So there's and it's not myself, but it's my voice. Not really my voice, but you know what I'm saying. And there was this interesting merging I was having with them. I was like, oh, I want to be in there with that. So that was really beautiful. Every time is different. I have literally been doing this since 2009 publicly, and every single time is different. And I have channeled so much. And so it's always an adventure. As I often say, the consciousness adventure within, with Osira, the Divine Mother. Woo! It's quite a show in here. So I feel really grateful, because what I am experiencing is a real profound shift. And boy, you know, I actually really needed it. Like I said to you, my own experience was feeling really thick, and I feel like I've just been transformed. I hope that this lands with each one of you. And so that part, we are complete with that. Now, and I love it. Thank you, Roseanne. I do, Osira, till we meet again. So now we're going to just ground this activation. All these, you know, moving parts that we've just done together, this space that we've created together. Now we're going to sync it up and just crystallize it and drop it into our body by doing another breath work. And this one's not too complicated. For many of you, you've done this before. We're going to do a series of 9 breaths. And these breaths are breath empowerment. And what I want to express to you, those of you who haven't done the breath empowerment, we're only breathing through our nose. We're not breathing out the mouth. So everything is through and out the nose and out the nose, in the nose, out the nose, in the nose, out the nose. And I would like for you to be sitting down. You can lay down. Sitting down, bring yourself as close to the edge of your chair or your wherever you're sitting. If you're laying down, just go ahead and lay down. And those of you who've done this and you can lay down, give it your all, because you know the benefits. So what we're going to be doing, because we've been in this space together, we're actually going to activate and pull in that light stream in this physical way. So this is bypassing the mental mind. This is bypassing that you're thinking about anything, but you are going to anchor this. So, okay, whoo. Sorry. The nose, it looks like this. I'm going to show you. It's like this. You go down. First, you breathe out all of your breath. Out the nose, out the mouth, and then you breathe in. Okay, so that was, you saw me. I breathed out the mouth, and at the bottom, I pulled in and out the nose. It's only in through the nose, out through the nose. You're going to go in these shorter kind of movements like this. If you're laying on the ground, the reason you'll breathe so deep, it feels like you're doing this, right? And then the breath, such a powerful breath. I've had life transformation experiences doing breath work, okay? And so this one, we are going to, I'm trying not to lose my train of thought because I'm loving it so much. Breathing it in. Okay, what was I going to say? Deeply and slowly, kind of trying to follow. I'm going to do it loud enough that I think you'll be able to hear. Try to follow so that we're all kind of in the same sync of syncing of the breath. And when we come up to the top, I'm going to count. We're going to do 9 breaths. And when we come up to the top at the end, we're going to hold it. Try to put your shoulders down, and if you're laying on the ground, just relax and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it until I say. And when you let it out your nose really slowly as you can until you drop and push all of the air out of your chest and lungs and your belly. The other thing to remember about doing this particular breath work, which is so activating and so beautiful, is that you fill up your belly, your Buddha belly. So you don't let, through the breath, you let your belly expand and contract, okay? Ooh. Clearing, lots of clearing. So, all right, focusing in. Our collective intention at this time is we are clearing anything and everything that does not need to be here with us now as we move forward. From this light activation, we are receiving all of this transmission through the breath and through seeing our bodies as light. So you're activating your light body. So see your body activating as light. Oh, how good it is. All right. Okay, so here we go. I have to yawn. You might be yawning too. I know they're contagious, but also it really is about clearing. So if you notice when I do channeling, I always end up yawning before I started channeling. And I often say it's because Osiris coming or the Divine Mother's coming. It's also because I'm changing the brain state of consciousness and I'm shifting my energy body. So yawning helps you do that. And isn't it interesting? We were always sort of told to, there's this myth from back in the day when people had the Black Plague, which is interesting that we're going through what we're going through, about yawning. And people would say yawning and sneezing, but you were supposed to cover your mouth because you weren't supposed to spread the disease. And here I am covering my mouth and I'm by myself. But mostly it's because I'm like, oh, I want to spread my mouth wide. But you know what? When you can, just yawn big and wide and free, let yourself. It actually shifts your consciousness, your body consciousness, and changes the brain state, the waves of your brain state. So they did the study on children, on college students, and one group in one room and the other group in the other room. And this is a verified study. And the one group was triggered to yawn. I think it was literally yawn for like crazy amount of time, 5 or 10 minutes. They just had this period of time to yawn before they took their test. And the other group was not told to do that. And the group, and they tried this, like they verified it like 3 or 4 times. They did the study in different classes. The groups that did the yawning did better on their tests every time. Okay, so here we go. We are shifting and holding and committing to the devotion of the path of light. And we are anchoring that in this declaration with our breath. Okay. And so I'm going to count to 3. And on the third one, we exhale. And then we bring up the first breath. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. And up to the top, up 8 and 9. Hold it. And release slowly, 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 slowly. If you felt that in a really Wonderful way. You can have 2 more times. We're going to do 3 rounds. So we just did the first round. And if you felt that, I just want to let you know you're not going to pass out. You can't breathe too much. And enjoy. And here we go. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. Breathe it out. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. Up to the top. Hold it. And release. And that was to center you and ground you for our third and final activation of this prayerful intention through our breath. That within each and every one of us, we are carrying the light and the remembrance to be activated through our life as love, unity, and service to the highest source of good. And that we choose a dimensional frequency of the highest order of this earth to be anchored, activated, and aligned. That we are the stewards of the golden new age, and that we choose a higher seeing and a higher loving, a higher amplification of consciousness, that we hold the key codes to a new template on this earth, that we align to the invisible angels of the highest order, guides of the highest order, Mother, Father of the holy light of love, creation, goodness, of God, Goddess, of all that is, the highest divine design. We anchor those key codes through our lives, through our intention, through our devotion, through our vows, our declarations, our decrees, and our mantras. All of our prayers are felt, seen, and heard, and amplified for the highest light and the highest intention. We allow this to be the truth of our living embodiment. And we do that in this now moment with this now breath. 1, 2, 3. Breathing it out. And breathing it all in. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and up at the top, hold, anchor, activate, and release when you're ready. Now, wherever you are, put your hand, your left hand on the top of your crown, your right hand on top of that. Breathing naturally, deeply and slowly. Activating all your chakras, even the ones outside of your body. Aligning, connecting the golden grids and the key codes into and of your central column of light, holding the highest vision of love, the highest vision of light, the highest vision of life for all. The next wave and the next level of consciousness meets our hearts, our minds, and our bodies with the intention for good, for love, activated through and as you, as the I am presence that serves your life at the highest level. And how that highest level service within you serves at the highest level in and around and to all beings, all of the human family, all of the animal family, all of the mammal family, all of the beings on earth, to raise to a higher level of love and light and unification into a golden new age of goodness, of unity, of a collective agreement for love, safety, health, wealth, prosperity, joy, peace, and harmony, balance, right relationship with all. With all. We say thank you and bringing our hands now down to our hearts. Left hand first, right hand on top. Holding and anchoring through the body consciousness and the collective circle of light that we are all engaged with here. Touching into each other's light with love and gratitude. Wherever you are felt, you are touched and reached. And our collective circle of light and unity and love and a higher way is amplified in this circle of light now, so that it raises a beacon around the world. And those who feel and see and sense this kind of light and this kind of love, feel it, see it, sense it, know it, receive it, align with it, and touch into it too. Activating at a higher and higher and higher level for the many and the more than that, and the millions and the millions and the billions of souls to rise to a higher light, a higher love, a higher consciousness, that each one of our souls ignite a greater current of a frequency of love, of light, of good, of God consciousness to the highest and next degrees for the mother and father, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, unified in the whole way of holiness. We align to this light and we spread it. We shine it, we share it, we be it. We choose this mission and this path. We say yes, and we anchor these key codes through our body, through our mind, through our activities, through the fuel and food we choose to absorb in every way. We highly connect to the infinite potentials of the next level of consciousness, to the highest and best degrees for our individual life and for the whole of consciousness. With this, it is my great honor to work with each one of you to be in this alignment and this sacred circle of light with my fellow soul light community, my family of light. For you and I and we all are joined in this mission of love and in this co-collaboration of a harmonic, beautiful alignment of converging to a new template of the organization of perfection as a divine design for a higher order of love, of light, of unity, of balance, and a collaboration for good. So very, very good. I say this with my full body, mind, heart, and soul, yes. And I ask you to say yes 3 times with me. Yes, yes, yes. Just take a moment. And allow your body and your mind and your heart just to come together. Allow yourself to be grounded back in your body, conscious and awake and aware, aligned to love and aligned to light. Activating at this choice point, activating at this gateway as we step through the days to come, we continue to return to the love and light devotion of our soul and the intention for the highest to occur on this planet, the best intentional life and living. I send this out to you with so much love and so much gratitude. I want to remind you to drink lots of water. Lemon water is always good. Electrolyte water in any way is really good. A little pinch of Himalayan sea salt to balance the electrolytes and the minerals. Drink lots of water and stabilize. Ground. Let yourself be in receiving today. As much as you can, receive. Keep receiving. Keep letting yourself come back to this special, special place that we have just opened up and that we are connected to. We've just activated and accepted a great and holy call, a beautiful offering to the world and to your own body and your own life and your own peoples, your own family, your own connections, however those go. We send this out to all the hearts that are hurting and that are tired and that are dealing. And we remember that we are all choosing. And we choose the highest light each and every moment we can remember. And each and every moment we can return to being a human chooser for love, being a human chooser for light, being a chooser of the humanness for life at the greatest degree. I really hope this met you in all the beautiful ways and anchors in your body, mind, and your heart. So listen to it again whenever you feel the call. Thank you so much. I mean, truly, deep, deep bow to each one of you for showing up, staying on and participating, coming back around, being in this now moment, and then all the other now moments that everybody's going to be attending to. Because see, each one of you, when you listen to it again, you're amplifying that, and it's amplifying that, and it's connecting to all these people here, and it's connecting to the people who couldn't be here. And so we're all amplifying this. Even in the next now moment, it's a live transmission each and every time. Really, that's amazing, but true. And so it's my honor to do this work with you, to do this prayerful intention, to do this devotion, to do this commitment, to make this kind of a vow. It's my vow for life. So it's so wonderful to truly connect with people who feel the vow of this, that I am completely in service to the light of love and the consciousness awakening for human beings and the planet herself. She's got herself, and we've come many, 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 many times, as Osiris says. And here we are doing it again. So let it be good. Let it be good, good, good. God, 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 goddess, goddess, goddess energy. And transform this world into the next evolutionary consciousness leap that we are. We have wings. Fly high. I'm so grateful. Thank you all so much. You can give me your love and say goodbye if you'd like, because we're going to close. I just, want to say thank you. You are the light. You are the love. You are the oracle. You are the guardian. You are the everything. You, we are. And when the world looks like it's not that, it's because that's the part everybody has to play. And so just remember that. It helps me so much. There's a neutrality that begins to come on when you wake up to that. The neutralness doesn't mean I don't care. The neutralness means I am free, because I see that it is all happening in its perfection. Sometimes I get taken down into the density, and it hurts, and it's painful, and it's scary, and it's worrisome, and it's just sad. And why can't it be different? And why can't it be like that? But at the same time, I eventually get right back up into the rightest consciousness that I know is the truth, and it lands, and it becomes activated in me. And this kind of moment helps me do that too. And then I remember I have neutrality. I have this neutral way, and I feel that all things happening, all of it. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep holding the light because that feels good. I'm going to keep holding the love. That feels good. And the more of us that do that, instead of spiraling into the darker parts and then attacking other people's, like you see a lot of people doing, the more of those people and the more of me who doesn't do that anymore, the more we raise that vibration, and the more of us really and truly activate this to the next level. That's what we're doing. So there really isn't judgment. There's just so much appreciation for the perfection in it all. Thank you, each one of you. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, Steve. Oh, thank you so much, Roseanne. Thank you, Tammy. Yep, exactly. From my heart to the center of your hearts, to each one of us, activating a higher consciousness, holding, receiving, aligning, and downloading to be the light of the world. So much love. Until next time, I'm with you.